Hey YouTube, Alex here from Stocks Reviewer Inc. And today we're going to be talking about Tesla and whether or not it is a stock to buy in 2017. The short answer, for me at least, considering my finances, is not really. It's not a stock I think I will be buying. And let's talk a little bit about why. Well, first off, Tesla is, as we all know, is a company where they create, electric cars, self-driving cars. They're pretty innovative in that sense, and they also have, energy storage devices. That's something else they work on, in renewable energy. And uh, it's not a company I'll be investing in 2017, and there's several reasons why. Let's look at the finances real quick. So let's talk about first um, about this PE ratio of negative 77.42. Now, as you all know, the only way to get a negative PE ratio is to have a negative earnings per share. So this means essentially that the company is losing money. Now, that's not necessarily, this number right here is not necessarily representative of what happened in the company. There's some kind of explanation for it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, but take away this negative sign, assuming the company was gaining money, it was 4.85, you would have a PE ratio of 77.42, which means it's not very good. For every $77 you invest in the company, you get $1 earnings per share, which is not that's not very good, considering the a better average would be closer to 20 for PE ratio. That's generally the average in the market. Um, so that's the first piece of financial information to consider when looking at whether or not you want to invest in Tesla. Now let's talk about let's go into the balance sheet here. Okay, so let's talk. Now this is I have these numbers here on the screen. I'm looking at quarterly. Because annually is good to look at too, these numbers, but I just like to see what's currently going on, the most recent information. So for cash inventory debt ratio, for this last quarter, not quarter three, I think this was quarter two because I haven't released quarter three. Um, I calculated that ratio and I got 0.457. So what I did to get that, first of all, is I took cash and cash equivalents, short-term investments, which they don't have, long-term investments over the short long-term debt right here, this number, and the long-term debt. And I got 0.457 cents per dollar. So for every 45 cents or 46 dollar of cash and investments, you have $1 of debt. Now that's not necessarily good. You generally want, or at least I like to see a 2-to-1 ratio when it comes to cash investments to debt. So that's already kind of off. They don't have a lot of wiggle room there when it comes to cash. Um, but now let's look at the income statement. This last quarter, we do see revenue growth, and if you actually look at it annually from 2015 to 2016, you see a crazy jump in revenue. But that was 2015 to 2016. That's not necessarily that shows that the company is growing, and even 2014 to 2015 was quite a large jump in revenue. So that's a good sign for the company, but I just, I like to look at the most current information, and so I took a look at the quarterly. And so this percentage I have here on the screen is 3.5% revenue growth for these last 2 quarters, or the 2 quarters that were reported. So that's good. They're selling their product. As for profits, profits went down by 0.2% right here from here to here. That's not anything crazy. Their profits aren't going down exponentially or anything. And if you look at the 3 quarters ago, that profits are actually up. So Profits are doing okay. Revenue is growing at a small percent, so that's nothing too bad. Um, so once you look at, cash debt ratio, the revenue growth, profit growth, and the PE ratio, the company not really being sold on purchasing this stock based just on the finances. So now I'm going to look at, well, what's going on with the company, and if there's something that will change my mind possibly, or if there's some promise. And there actually is. You have the Model 3 that's coming out soon. And what I like about this is I feel like a lot of Teslas, their main issue is having affordable, cars that everyone can have. Most of their cars are 50,000 plus to purchase and to have, and so they're not really accessible to everyone. And so maybe they're not selling as much because of that reason. But with this Model 3 that's coming out, it's going to start at 35,000 for this fully electric car, which is, that's unheard of, that no one else has done that. And that's somewhat accessible to, especially, at least the middle class. So 35,000 before incentives. So they're going to release this, and this car is like a Civic size car, Honda Civic size car, nothing, not like a sedan or anything. And that'll be released, I think, um, what does it say? Uh, in the next year or so, I believe. Yeah, yeah, in 2017. So that's good promise to the company. I think that will help Tesla grow. But as for, the stock price, my main issue and, getting in on Tesla right now, like I do think that the company will see overall growth, or the market price will see overall growth. My main issue is I think the stock is a little bit overvalued right now, especially when you're looking at this price earnings ratio. Um, Getting in on this number to me seems a little high. Uh, but I mean, the company does show promise. I do think if you already own Tesla stock, I think it's good to keep. I don't think you should sell it by any means. But for me, getting in on it right now, I don't think that's exactly what I want to be doing. So if you guys, agree or disagree with me, be sure to leave a comment below. I'm not guaranteeing stock will you know, increase in price or go down. I'm just giving my 2 cents on whether or not it's something I would buy, if it's a stock buy for 2017. Considering my finances, I don't think I'll be purchasing it. So be sure to comment below if you agree or disagree. If you thought this video was helpful in any way, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.